Welcome to the workshop. Let's get started by asking ourselves this very obvious question here, which is why your ads don't convert and what can we do about it? I do believe you have tried everything you can about tweaking your audience targeting, changing the ad creative, because I've worked with so many advertisers from all around the world. Everybody believes that it's always about the ad. But I want to bring up one very important question that you probably have asked yourself this, but if you don't, I want you to start thinking about this. What if it's not about the ad? Based on my experience working with thousands of meta advertisers from all around the world, I would say up to 70% of time, when you have a non-performing campaign, it's not about the ad. Really, that's the reason why you keep tweaking the ad creative, keep changing the audience targeting. It's not going to help you break through the ROAS bottleneck it's not going to help you get more leads to convert into sales and all that. It's really about the marketing that you have in the whole business model that you have over there that we need to do some tweaks to really make some impactful changes to boost the whole sales and conversion of your campaign. I'm going to show you some powerful tweaks that we deploy on our clients. These are all powerful tweaks that really help my client achieve breakthrough, whereby they get more sales instantly or they convert more leads instantly. So these are not some theories. These are all real life case studies as I'm going to share with you. So what I want to say is I'm not smarter than any of these business owners that I work with, but the problem here is when you are too much into your business, you are being bogged down by too many nitty-gritty stuff that you forgot to look at your business, like elevate yourself to look at it in a more bird's eye view to really try to figure out what are the possible blind spots that you have in your business that is hindering you from getting better results. So our job is just that, right? Especially when I'm new to a business, I always ask noob questions. And in fact, these are all the right questions that can help you navigate different angles in your business, because this is exactly how your audience would think, because they don't know about your business as much as you do, but they are consumers and customers that might be interested in your product or services. So you need to learn how they think. And these are all the tiny little things that can help you connect better with your audience, which can really help you create better ad creative, create better messaging, or even create better offers. So I'm going to show you all these real life case studies. I'm going to show you 5 of them. Okay, so these are from e-commerce, from lead generation. So the first one here is about a simple wording change that tripled the add to cart. This is a very classic example on how you can make a simple change that connects, that helps your audience understand whatever that you're offering so much better, that change the entire business. Right. The second one is about how do we warm up the leads. You see, the thing here is if you run lead gen campaign, I believe one of the biggest challenges is you may get a lot of leads coming through, but you are not able to convert them. So it's really about what can we do in between to make these people believe in us more instantly and eventually booking a call with us and become a lead. So basically, this is an example that I'm going to show you. And the third one here is about budget allocation. This is a very interesting example that how a simple budget allocation tweak can change the entire business model. It's not about spending more. You see, here's the thing. I always believe that if you are making money already in running ads on Meta, on Facebook or Google or whatever, there must be some leaking points in the funnel that you can really fix that can instantly boost your results. And it's not about spending more money. We talk about that later, but how can we fix all this first? These are all the things that I'm going to show you now. The fourth example here is about offer reframing. This is really how I help a lot of clients in service industry, whereby if you offer services, coaching, consultation, any programs, sometimes by reframing your offer can really make a huge difference. And I'm going to show you about that. So then the last one here is I'm going to show you a powerful retargeting strategy that can help you instantly double your sales. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into the first one. The first example here is a very classic example on how you can boost your e-commerce ROAS instantly by making a simple wording change. Now, this is the first advertisement that my client used. I mean, all the examples that I'm going to use here are real cases, but I definitely cannot name the client, right? So this is just an example of first ad that my client sent out to the marketplace and on Meta advertising. They said, I'm offering a 15% off. It's doing okay. They have been running ads for a while. They are getting decent ROAS. But then again, they are always at a bottleneck that they cannot break through, as in they are not able to get more people to buy. Even they increase the budget, is not really helping in terms of getting more revenue. So when we dive into the whole thing, when I was discussing with the client, like I said, I asked dumb questions, right? So I was thinking 15% equals to how much? At one point when we were discussing about this, they said it's actually quite a lot. It's about $100 over, because they're selling something that is on mid to higher ticket. So then I was thinking, why don't we just change something and try this? You see, I just want you to put yourself into the customer's shoe by comparing these two advertisements. Which one would you be more interested in? You see, here's the thing. Whatever you sell, okay, you know the value of your product, but as a total stranger and a total newbies and noobs that do not know about your product pricing and all, I might be just interested in the product itself. I don't know how much. And when I don't know how much are you selling, 15% may mean maybe, in my opinion, it's more maybe just a $15 kind of discount. But if I know that the discount is up to $100 over, do you think the audience will be more intrigued? Do you think the audience will be more excited to click on your advertisement and come and take a look? Because they're already interested in your advertisement in the first place, the product that you're selling. So that changed everything. So instantly, all right, so this is just a simple comparison before and after. So when we were doing 15% off, on a weekly basis, we get about 10 cards and we got 5 sales, which is decent, 50% conversion. And the ROAS is standing about 6. But the moment we actually change everything, okay, we got so many more add to cart. Although the sales was not that great at that week itself, but then again, we were already getting more sales at 9 compared to 5. This is exactly the same amount that we spend, right, on a weekly basis. And we got so much better ROAS because we were spending the same amount of money. When we get more sales, the ROAS improve. And just imagine if I'm able to really optimize the cart and sales conversion, then I really able to boost it from, let's say, 50%. If 30 add to cart, I probably will get 15 sales. That will even boost the ROAS further. So this is how we do optimization when it comes to the campaign. I mean, there might be a lot of things that you can do on the ad side, but what I want to highlight here is there's so much more that you can do off the ad. That's why do not just focus on the advertisement itself. Try to look at, other things like, is there any add to cart issue that you are probably having some, like for example, is there any issue on your landing page that is stopping people from navigating more on your product? Because especially if you're in e-commerce, you should have at least 2 to 3x from landing page view to content view, because theoretically, if a person is interested in what you offer, provided you're not selling something, just a single product e-commerce store, you should have a lot more navigation, because people who are interested, they will start browsing around, they will see your other products, they probably will start thinking about maybe I should buy more. So the content view should be there. But if you are having a very low conversion on that, it could be an opportunity that we can try to optimize the landing page and start bringing people to view more, because when they view more, they are more likely to purchase. These are all the simple little things that we can do to improve the conversion. So instantly, right, by changing a wording, we got 3x more add to cart, about 2x the ROAS and the sales, and that is how we can achieve instant boost in revenue without doing a lot of, like ad tweaks, audience targeting tweaks and stuff like that, and without spending more money. All right, so that's something that you can start thinking about how you can apply this to your business. Really look back at your advertisement, your messaging and all that. I believe there's so much more we can tweak to bring in different results. All right, now the second example here is about building trust before you ask. So this is a client that offers Airbnb, like a coaching business, meaning they teach people how to start an Airbnb business without having a property, because you're just becoming a service provider and you can always go out and try to find those people who have a property to actually allow you to manage the property for them and list it on Airbnb, that you can do all this management and start making money out of it. So what my client was offering is a coaching program whereby, they will teach you how to start building this business. It's like a whole system ready for anyone who wants to start an Airbnb business to get started right away with the system. So this is what they get, right? They got 100 leads, because this is actually a lead magnet where they will get people to come in and watch a free webinar. And if they are interested, then definitely they will go on and book a call with the client. And of course, a certain percentage of them would eventually become a coaching client. But for this case, when they are running ads for a month, they got about 100 leads, but they got 4 appointments. You can't even show that. You see, it's like so little. And they got 0 sales. So when we came in, we try to understand the business is that, like I say, I ask stupid questions, right? So when we ask a lot of questions here and there, we start looking at what are the things that we can do. And one of the things that my client brought up here was, for those people that they spoke to, the biggest challenge was the trust factor was really, really low, because people don't know, like it can be any Tom, Dick, Harry talking about this. Here's the thing, especially when it comes to lead gen, you need to think about your online presence. You see, it's really important for you to have a presence, because when a person see your ad, first thing before they even sign up for the webinar or the lead magnet that you're offering, they probably will start Googling you first or ChatGPT you. So my question here is, are you having a strong presence on Google or over the internet that allows people to learn more about you before they commit into anything? That's a very important thing. So yeah, we try Google, the client's name, oh, nothing. So basically, in my opinion, that's the first thing we need to address. It's not about the ad first or whatever. So what we did was we actually created a YouTube channel. So it's more like a facade. Okay, here's the thing. You may argue that, I mean, why not just create a website? Because that would rank better on Google and it allows you to have a more structured content or whatever to introduce yourself. Sometimes it's not as straightforward as it is because when you have a new website, it takes time for Google to rank you. And then after that, when the page is very simple and there is nothing much, people may not actually have that trust factor right away. So in my opinion, the fastest way to build trust, in my opinion, is actually to have a YouTube channel. So that's what we did. Because your YouTube channel can be a facade that you can have a lot of things optimized. I'm not saying that just any YouTube channel. We optimize the whole thing by, creating content that will connect with the audience journey when they search for, let's say, the client's name. What do they want to see? So we create content that is pieced together, connecting one content to another. But the purpose of this content is really to serve these audiences when they are really interested in my client. So basically, we spent about a month in creating all this content, building a facade on a YouTube channel. Another thing that is great about YouTube is that when people are on YouTube, they tend to have more patience in consuming longer form content. But of course, we're not talking about something that is half an hour kind of stuff. But we create really strategic pieces. And second thing about this is, do you know YouTube can really rank fast on Google because it's owned by Google? And YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world that is owned by the number one search engine in the world, which is Google. So when these two works together, you can actually build a presence fast and appear fast. And basically, that's how you can quickly leverage on all these two platforms together to build an online presence that make you searchable. So once we have built the YouTube channel, the another thing that we did was we dive into the thank you page and all that. We try to do things differently. Instead of just sending them to the video and watch the webinar, we invite the audience to come to the YouTube channel to look at whatever the client was feeding them over there. These are all the strategic content that we created. And we do not stop there, all right? Because immediately when they see a YouTube channel, they have more trust. You don't need to have a big YouTube channel, let's put it this way. But you need to have one that is strategically built and optimized to make sure that, it connects with the intention. Second thing is, we also added emails to specific YouTube videos in your email sequence. Now, here's the thing. If you run webinar, if you do lead gen, may not be webinar, in my opinion, one of the most important thing that you must have, especially if you run lead gen, whether it's lead gen for your financial services, your property that you are trying to sell, or even the service that you're trying to offer over here, email sequence is essential. You need to have a well-built email sequence to connect with this audience while they are really interested. You need to warm them up as fast as you can before asking for any appointment calls and stuff like that. So we optimize that. Like, I hope you see now, when I work with my client, we do not just look at the advertisement side. We do a lot of things. We try to work on a lot of background work to make sure that the whole process, the whole customer journey is being optimized. So we actually changed. We added a few emails that are bringing the audience to specific YouTube videos while they are at it. So we talk about specific topics. Let's say we talk about what if I don't have a property? How can I start an Airbnb business? Then we have a video specially catered for that. And of course, in every email, we always sprinkle those assets that we have, which is like, if you're interested, click this button to book a call with us to do whatever. But everything is optimized and strategically written and organized to make sure that we are able to warm the audience up as much as we can. So yeah, optimizing the welcome sequence to angle for call booking. That's what we do. And by doing all these tweaks, I think we spent about 2 months doing all these little tweaks here and there. And to optimize, instantly we see things different. Now, once we relaunched the campaign, instead of 100 leads that we got lesser leads at 93 because the positioning was totally different. Okay, we do things differently. Instead of getting people to just come in for the sake of coming in, we do have a little bit more questions and, like to warm these people up. So basically, we got less leads, but we got more appointments. And now the client is getting about 2 to 3 sales monthly and generating about 3x ROAS consistently for them. That's how you can do differently with your lead gen campaign by really fixing the right thing. So a few key takeaways you have to look into here is how do you build trust? Try to search for yourself. If you are not searchable, what can you do? If you are even searchable, you want to look at what is the information that you have there. If you need to update it, do it. Otherwise, build it. That's really a very important thing, especially if you're doing lead gen. Nowadays, people don't just trust everything they see. So you need to have a presence. Now, second thing you want to look into here is to really have a very strong welcome email sequence, and you need to constantly update it. We don't stop there. Always dive into it and look at the open rate and the click-through rate. If they are really like underperforming emails, you probably want to replace them and write new ones. I mean, ChatGPT can do that with really simple command. So yeah, there's no reason why you don't optimize this part. Now, the third example here is a very obvious example. Now, let me ask you this question. Okay, how many of you just spend the same amount of money on a monthly basis on meta advertising and just hoping that you will see different results coming in? You see, sometimes matching your spend to demand is really the key because this is what most people do. All right, let's say if you plan to spend $1,000 a month, so you probably will just even out every month you spend $1,000, and but here's the thing, you're not going to get the same result every month. Why? Because in every business, even as consistent as it can be, there must be some good season and low season. And let me ask you this, do you have different budget allocation for different season? So the strategic tweak that we did here was we identify the best performing months. Of course, when you do that, you're also identifying the worst performing months for you to do some different adjustments. So on top of that, I always recommend my client to do something differently, which is to create your own sales season. Here's the thing. If you run ads during Black Friday, everybody run ads during Black Friday, right? And here's the thing. Do you know that Black Friday are usually not the best season to run ads? First, Black Friday has high CPM because the whole world is running ads eventually to push the CPM high. So basically, you're spending more to reach the same amount of people because the CPM become higher. Sometimes it can be double the CPM. So you're already spending double to reach the same amount of client. Do you expect better result coming from it? So that's the first thing. Second thing, everybody is running ads. And do you think the customers have endless money in their pocket? It's impossible. They have their budget. And when I have so many things I want to buy, they started to prioritize and they can only make that many choices that they can according to their affordability. So in fact, I want you to look at all these things when you are running ads during peak seasons, like the Black Friday year-end season. Ask yourself this real question. Are you doing better or are you not? If not, how can you optimize your sales season differently? So my best recommendation to all my clients would be, let's create your own sales season, right? It doesn't have to be whatever month that everybody's running sales. Do your own. So that makes you unique. That makes you, well, in a way, unpredictable, which, your customers like surprises. And when you have your own sales season, you can actually choose times that you have better demand, but it's not as peak as other seasons. You enjoy lower CPM. You probably will reach more people spending the same amount of money. And hopefully the sales or the promotion is strong enough to convert people. And eventually you're going to get better revenue. So that's how things work, right? So basically, this is how we did. As compared to every month you spend $1,000, we start changing things around. So usually for this client, first 3 months of the year are usually low season. So we cut half off on the spend. And then on April, we know that this is the month that we always get a lot. So let's run sales in this month, all right? So we did it and, we spend more money. We can even push it up to double, like $2,000. May always come down, and June we have another push because that's the mid-year sale whereby we just say that this is probably another sales season that we can do some clearance and stuff like that. And then July and August will slow down a little bit and then we come back again on September and October, November, December, because this is still the season that people buy us. We just keep the normal budget running, but this is how we do. Seriously, if you do this exercise, you can change your revenue instantly. But of course, it takes a year to see the whole thing without spending more money. So that's what happened to my client. The yearly revenue increased by almost 28% without spending a cent more than their original ads budget. So just imagine when this thing happened next year, you'll be asking the question, how can we make more? Now, that's the time you can start really scaling meaningfully once you have all the data in place. Like I say, the numbers will never lie. Do not run ads based on your gut feeling. You need all this data to come in and help you build a plan. Building a plan is really important. All right. So I hope that gives you some idea. Like I say, dive back into your whole business data. It's always there. The answers is always there. You just need to unearth it. And then the next thing is, how do you plan your promotions and sales strategically? It all comes back to the data, and the customers will always tell you the truth. All right. So the fourth example here is really selling what they are looking for. This is a very interesting example, especially if you are a service provider, especially if you're in coaching or whatever. Sometimes here's the thing. Service is actually a product. I mean, we productize, right? We offer, a package, or, this is like a program that we are offering. So a lot of times I've experienced myself so many times, the offer that you have created may not be something that your audience are looking for. And this is a real case I want to show you. My client, okay, offers a coaching program to help people invest in UK property. So they run a lead magnet like this, like learn how to invest in UK property. And if you click on this, it gives you a webinar. Basically, after the webinar, they invite you to come on a call. And eventually, that's how they kind of like invite you into the coaching program. So the offer here is a 3-month coaching program, whereby they will teach you everything you need to know, like how can you open an account in UK, and how can you register a company in UK with a really low cost, and how can you find the best property to invest in, how can you even get mortgage in UK, even if you're not a citizen over there. So it's a coaching program where my client teach them everything they need to know. So it involves, like a number of hours of online learning program, self-paced, and it also comes with a few coaching calls that, like the client can really speak to my client to really find out, to ask questions and stuff like that. So basically, they run this webinar for about a month or two, and they have gotten about 200 leads. The problem is they don't get any sales. Here's the thing. When you have this kind of situation, it's definitely not the ad problem. You have 200 over leads. I mean, the cost per lead was fantastic. A lot of times we always try to let's try to fix on the ad side. No, this is a business problem already. Do not avoid it. Look straight into it and start finding the best way to tweak. So we set out with the client. We ask questions like, what are the common questions or the challenge or the objections that you get when you are speaking to these people, especially when you're in a sales call with them, or even if you do some webinar, live webinar and all that. What are the problems that you are facing? What are the objections that you are facing? Or is there any really important questions that most of your so-called prospects were asking? Then we realized more than 60% of the leads asked one important question. You probably have guessed it, which is, do you help us buy UK property? Meaning, these people, they came on board, who actually sign up for the webinar or even come to a call. They were looking for someone to help them buy UK property. So then I asked my client, do you? Yes, my client said, in fact, that's the service that they offer after they become a coaching client, meaning you learn all these things, in and out and all that. If you need help, they have a team that includes, bankers, real estate agents, in order to help you do everything you need to do on ground to really get a UK property. So here's the thing, okay? Once we understand the whole thing, we did some strategic tweaks as usual. So the first thing was to change the offer entirely. Yeah, because my client was doing coaching plus service. So then we realized people don't really want the coaching part. So we start offering the service first, and along the way, we do the consultation. It is still the same. Essentially, it is still the same, but we sell what they want first. Then we package whatever we currently offer alongside with it. So instead of saying that you come in and learn all these things, and we tell you, oh, if you need help, we can do it. I mean, then what we do here is we tell you that, look, we help you buy property. And then along the way, we will meet with you once a month or twice a month to tell you what are the things that you need to do. Like, I will teach you that these are all the documents, the stations you need to actually prepare to open an account in UK, and how do you get a mortgage in UK and stuff like that. So these are all the things that we do with you. Okay. And yeah, that's how things work, right? We are tapping on the right psychology of our audience. You see, these real investors, they don't want to learn things because they are cash rich and they are time poor. But here's the thing, when we are trying to teach, when we are trying to become a coach, we always believe that, people want to learn. But in fact, most of the time, people just want the solution. So on top of repackaging the whole whatever service plus consultation, we also price it differently. We increase the fee by 3x, meaning because now you're talking about you are, getting a service. You're talking about buying a property which can cost you hundreds of thousands. So in order to help you get that, these people are totally okay to spend more money to get these things sorted out so that they can have a UK property and do it for me. So basically, we repackaged the whole thing, and of course, the top of funnel was changed as well. So instead of offering a webinar, we don't do that anymore. We immediately invite people to say that, hey, do you want to invest in UK property? Click this link, book a call with us, let us teach you how, and let's help you do that. So basically, that changed my client's business entirely. And it's really profitable right now, and they're getting about a one sale per week, which is already high four-figure revenue. And monthly, they're making comfortable like five-figure, multi-five-figure. And yeah, my client is really happy. Why? Because this is not his only business. He has other things that he's running as well in UK, as in like in investment and stuff. This gives him a very comfortable side income, on top of whatever that he's getting. And he's spending really little on ads, and he's getting really, really good results out of it. So if you are in service business, if you're a coach, a consultant, really ask yourself, these are all the things that you already know because you speak to your prospects firsthand directly, you and them. Really look back into all these conversations and see if there's anything you can do to reframe your offer so that you're offering really something that people are looking for instead of something that you believe people want, right? Here's the key. Now, the last but not least, really, especially if you're in e-commerce, this is for e-commerce. Especially if you're in e-commerce, what I want to urge you to do here is let's not leave money on the table. Now, this is a real case that a client that I onboarded about a month plus ago. When they came into us, they say, Jason, I'm doing okay. But then again, I can't really break through my ROAS right now. So how can we fix that? At their top of funnel campaign, they're always running top of funnel, so the ROAS is not great. But they're not losing a lot of money there. Sometimes they get slightly better ROAS is about 2 point something to 3, but this is just one particular week. So on a weekly basis, they get a lot of add to cart, as you can see here, 78 here, but they only close 5 sales out of it, meaning a big chunk of these people who are interested, when I say interested, means they're not just browsing a product. They actually went all the way to add to cart already, but they don't buy. Have you ever asked why? So we dive in. Okay, we did a few things here. This is one of the most classic tweaks that we do when it comes to e-commerce with this kind of situation. First, we introduce a retargeting campaign. Here's the thing. If you are running an e-commerce campaign, do not just run one tier campaign. It's really important to have a retargeting. So basically, we always separate into like a top of funnel campaign, which is the one that is helping you to reach more people at a lower cost. So we spend 80% on that because that's where we get, the top of funnel inflow of audiences coming in. And we will always spend at least 20% on the retargeting. So we spend more on the top of funnel, which we get average ROAS, but the retargeting is going to help you get the most of it because remember, people don't buy the first time they see your ad. Whatever you sell, if they take time to consider, they probably will start looking around on the marketplace or whatever to see whether they sell cheaper than you. Yeah, you need to give them time to consider, but as they were hot, you need to warm them up as fast as you can, as soon as you can, to really convert them into your customer by offering vouchers or whatever. So this is the importance of retargeting. And on top of that, okay, we also want to optimize the cart recovery email as well. Now, here's the thing. If you run e-commerce, you must have a cart recovery email. So there are many ways you can do that. Most of the e-commerce software has their own built-in cart recovery like Shopify, WooCommerce, but it is a must-have because this is going to change everything. So cart recovery email is really an email to send to your audience. Basically, if they add to cart, just to remind them that say that, hey, you have got something in the cart. Don't forget to check out. Or you can even offer them some voucher for them to really complete the purchase. So based on our experience, a normal cart recovery email will get you about 10% to 20% conversion, meaning 10 people who added to cart, if you send the email at the right time, you can close one out of it or two. So that's already some very, very significant change that can add some extra revenue to your business right away. And on top of that, based on our experience, I can give you this tip right away. Based on our experience, one email you will get about that 10 to 20%, but adding another email will bump another 5% usually. Meaning, instead of sending one email, send two. And that can help you get a little bit more revenue. Like I say, these are all free stuff, but when you do this right, they become an engine that works for you in the background that They help you capture these interested audiences when they are warm and add some revenue to your campaign. So that's something that you have to really think. So basically, instantly applying this, we get this kind of number. The retargeting got us extra 20 add to cart, and out of it, we got 8 sales. The conversion was so much better over here, and it added beautiful ROAS to the whole thing. When you combine, although the top of funnel was not getting good ROAS at 2, when these two combine, they become a very beautiful campaign whereby, we probably were getting about 5, 6 ROAS, which is not bad. So here's really how you can change your campaign results instantly without adding more money. Like I say, scaling an under-optimized campaign is a very dangerous thing because you don't know what's working and what's not. But imagine going through all this process, making sure all the leakages in your funnel are being patched and taken care of. You can even scale more confidently because you know that the whole engine is working for you and it's well oiled. You just need to keep running it, and you just need to pump in the right amount of more money if you want to, and everything's going to work for you. So yeah, like I say, the recovery email captured 10% more sales with zero cost. And the retargeting also worked really so much better. The overall ROAS more than doubled with no additional cost. This is what we get for this client. So I think up to now, what I really want to bring to the table here is you can get more sales and more leads without spending more money. You just need to find which tweak to fix. There are so many things in your business. Do not just always think about just the ad, just the ad, just the ad. No, there are more things. But here's the thing, right? In the business, there are so many moving parts. Where should we look at first? Which things that we should push first? So this is the next question that you probably are asking. Which lever should you pull first? Which hole should you fix? Is it really even a hole? So it involves a lot of fact-finding, brainstorming, diving into the businesses itself, asking the right question. And in fact, a lot of times you can't do this alone. Like even myself, when I'm trying to optimize my own business, I always need my friends to come with me. But sometimes your friend may not be able to help you because they don't have the essential knowledge. So, like for example, for me, I can help businesses like this not because I'm smarter than them. But here's the thing, over the years, I've worked with thousands of advertisers from all around the world, thousands of businesses. All of them have different marketing strategies, tactics that they deploy. And this is really something that helped me shape my worldview that I have when it comes to marketing. And that's how I can add value to the businesses. I'm just doing my work to mix and match. These are all not original ideas from me. But what is useful here is the knowledge and the know-how. Because the next thing you want to think about here is not just the idea itself. How do we make it work? The logistic of it. That even involves a lot more technical knowledge that you need to really put in place to put things together. So just in case you are ready to take your business to the next level and you need help, I would like to invite you to come over and build a plan. So what we're going to do here is we can have a quick discussion for 20 minutes. Okay, no obligation, no string attached. Just come over and I'm going to just ask you a few questions about your business. And hopefully, I'm able to create some new angles for you to look at your challenges that you're facing. And if you believe this is something that you want to work on together and you need my help to make this work, like the execution part, the planning, the strategy thinking and all that, then we can work together. Like I say, this is a program that I'm offering. But nonetheless, I'm offering you a one-off 20 minutes discussion. Let's have a quick chat. I'm going to give you some new perspective, hopefully. And if you're comfortable, if you think this is what you want to do, then we can talk about how we can work together to make this work for your business. All right. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code. I look forward to work with you.